Writing summaries is a skill which helps college students remember the main ideas from lecture notes and textbooks. Writing summaries becomes relevant when writing research papers. Your college professors expect you to summarize the key points and findings from research studies. Readers should ask themselves what the article will discuss after they have scanned the title and pictures included in a newspaper or magazine article. Before you read the newspaper or journal article, it is important also to take notes on what you expect to read based on the title, headline or headlines, any pictures, and the first couple of paragraphs in the article. Taking notes on what you think the article will discuss will help you become engaged with the topic of the article. Okay, the main idea often appears at the beginning of a newspaper article. However, other sentences may also give the reader clues as to what the main point of the article is. The author sometimes repeats the main idea using different words. In these two paragraphs, California districts could run out of water by April. The author brings up the possibility of a drought in different parts of California. And also in the next group of sentences, the author uses different words to refer to his or her point that running out of water in rural areas around California is likely. Okay, it's important to read the body paragraphs and underline any topic sentences and important details. Often the author will write the key point sometimes in the middle of a paragraph or in a quotation. It's very important to read the last couple of paragraphs of the article and underline any key sentences or key phrases at the end of paragraphs, because often the author wants to remind the reader what point he is trying to make or she is trying to make throughout the article. It's important to write the supporting points from the article on a piece of paper. You can write one sentence about 2 or even 3 paragraphs in an article by using connector words like because, if, when, or before. Or you can use other connector words including for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. After you write the supporting points, you can write the main idea of the article. The first sentence of the summary should include both the first and last name of the authors. So it's like in this example, Christina Lynch discusses. Okay, and then the second sentence, should begin with the author's last name only. For example, Lynch begins the article by pointing out that she got sick from a hand-washed dish. And the third sentence, sentence 3, which would be supporting point 2, you would use a subject pronoun such as he, she, or they, if there are 2 authors. In this example, Christina Lynch is a woman, so we use the subject pronoun she. She explains that people get sick from hand-washed dishes due to stubborn bacteria, which hand-washing dishes does not remove. The last thing you should do is to write the concluding sentence at the bottom of your list of sentences. When the concluding paragraph of a newspaper or magazine article is long and complicated, you may want to use a transition word to break one sentence into 2 sentences. Common transition words that you can use in a summary include therefore, on the other hand, however, and nevertheless. All right, when you write the summary or type it, use some of these reporting verbs. In sentence 1, use discuss how or discuss why. And other verbs you could use in the first sentence could be explain that, or to argue, or describe. In sentence 2, for the first supporting point, you could begin that first supporting point by saying the author begins this article by describing, etc. And sentence 3, if you think the author makes an interesting point, you could say he or she points out that. And then sentence 4, the author continues by describing or explaining. And there are many reporting verbs that you could use besides these on this slide, such as the author suggests that, the author emphasizes that. Okay, the last thing you need to do after you have written your summary is check your sentences and read the sentences or paragraphs which you used in your summary again. And ask yourself this question: am I writing the author's main idea, supporting points, and concluding ideas correctly? By correctly, I mean accurately. The second question you should ask yourself when you check your sentences is, did I use my own words to tell the main ideas in my own special way? Don't worry about using your own words for technical words like computer. I know there are no synonyms for those words, such as software, brain, heart. So I know that when I say use your own words, that means to express the author's point of view in your own way. And sometimes doing that can take a lot of practice. So give yourself at least an hour to write a summary. And then check it after you wait an hour and then see if you need to make any edits or revisions to your writing. Okay, the last thing you should do when you write a summary is to type your sentences in a paragraph. And you should format the paragraph using ESLA. We're going to talk a lot more about this as the weeks go by. ESLA is used in English courses such as English 100. And basically what you do is you write your first and last name, class, date in the top left-hand corner. It's got to be the left-hand corner, top left-hand corner, not the right-hand corner. Make sure you double space it. Step 2, in the center of the next line, write the title of the article. Step 3, use Times New Roman font, 12-inch. Okay, use 12-inch. Don't make it really big like 18 or 14, just 12-inch. And line spacing should be double spaced. And step 5, print your paper out and correct grammar, word choices, and punctuation. You probably will need to print your paper out at least 5 times. Okay, at least I was always that student who had to print her paper out at least 5 times. And I would recommend correcting your paper using a pencil. You should edit your paper using a pencil. We're going to talk a lot more about editing as the weeks go by too. So just take it slowly. Make sure you print your paper out, however. And do your best to correct the grammar. I know it's not easy to correct grammar, but little by little, you will improve the more you try to correct grammar.